Hey you guys, it's what 1990 2003 to 2015 2022 and Texas this time around it's turning blue. Okay, listen, we've been hearing about this for fucking ever and it ain't gonna happen, especially with this unimpressive crop of progressive candidates or even just Democrat candidates, okay? Because if they aren't running again for re-election, because what are we up to, over 30 at this point? It looks like my estimation of about 34, 35 for the Democrats, at least at the federal level, not seeking re-election in these 2022 bloodbaths. Midterm elections that are going to be coming up. It might be underselling it. We might be pushing 40 when it's all said and done. But as you can tell, there was an ass that went down to the border, or at least went down to San Antonio. She went down there to go and see the local Salt Lick. Went down there for a rally to, pimp out progressive candidates in places that are turning much redder. If you take a look at the statistics about who's turning out and who's voting specifically in 2020, Texas, okay, it might eventually turn blue. Okay, maybe every state's fate is eventually to turn blue, but you take a look at things in places like Florida, places like Ohio, okay, those measly flyover states in the middle, they continue to shift more and more red. Or even if you want to break this down to a macro level, you take a look at the places that aren't these huge hub cities, and as long as they don't control the states proper, the rest of the outlying areas, they continue to get more and more red as the cities continue to get more and more blue. So yeah, if you just end up setting your time frame as inevitable, okay, not having to pinpoint a specific time where you think that your policies are finally going to fucking make sense, you'll eventually be correct. Probably, maybe, the tides do eventually change. The pendulum does swing back the other direction. It's just not going to be anytime soon. And some things I just want to point out here, okay? I just want to draw your attention to a couple of pictures that we have here specifically. It doesn't have anything to do with the overarching video itself, but maybe it kind of does. Just pay attention to this, okay? So what do you see here in this picture? Well, you see a bunch of just loveless women showing up to, heap praise and get dental care advice from AOC. Remember, she's from New York, down campaigning in southern Texas. Fucking weird, but whatever. When the Democrats are so their bench, okay, for popular candidates is so fucking thin, I guess you just have to send her back to her roots, campaigning in a bar, whatever. No, you got a bunch of piss-stinking fucking loveless broads who have probably had more miles of dick run through them than AOC traveled in order to get to South Texas. But all of them, oh yes, they're doing their part. They're in this all together, adhering to the mask mandates in Texas. Wait, what? No? Oh, okay, cool. But no. They're all masked up, okay, except for one person. And to be fair, there's probably, maybe her mask just has too much saliva on it. Okay, that's fair. But then you take a look at everybody inside the bar here, wherever the fuck they are. All the people inside there, they're doing their part too. They're wearing their mask at this Democratic fundraiser. You remember the Democratic Party? They're the party of the people, the party of the working class, right? Making sure that they're all a part of the horde and that they're heaping all of the praise on the important people who don't have to adhere to any of these fleeting mandates that are out there. Remember, guys, when you're a part of the Democratic Party, there's rules for thee, just not for me. Eventually, you'll get there someday. We're all in this together. We're all equal on this one. It's just some people are more equal than other people. AOC told a masked San Antonio crowd that Texas is turning blue, inevitable. While she stumped for 2 Democratic congressional candidates on Saturday. Good luck with that one. Who knows how many are actually going to be turning out for that one. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but I kind of fucked up my intro in the previous recording on this one. But if I already covered this, forgive me. Anyways, I think there's like 30-some odd candidates, 30-some odd Democratic members of Congress that aren't seeking re-election in the 2022 midterms, bloodbath, whatever, the red wave that's incoming, if you want to call it that, whatever. And I'm not really too fond of the current crop of Republicans that are up there, but we'll see what happens. They're obviously better than these progressive Democrats, that's for true. But the last time that we talked specifically about the retiring Democratic caucus that aren't aren't going to be seeking re-election. I said that, yeah, probably somewhere around 34, 35 when it's all said and done, but we might have to hoist that up a little bit. I think right now we might actually be seeing that threshold be met. I know it's into the 30s. Not too sure if it's into the mid-30s yet, or if we're still in the early 30s, but might be pushing 40 by the time everything's all said and done. But hey, as of right now, though, they're being replaced by unremarkable people, to say the least, which should also tell you something, because yeah, you get notable names on the right side of the aisle. You take a look at some of the races that are going on, specifically in Georgia, right? Okay, so federal senator, rather. You got Herschel Walker, okay? Take that for what you will, okay? A popular running back in the late 80s, early 90s, okay? But still, that guy has huge name recognition, especially going up against wife-beater Warnock, okay? You got Dr. Oz running in Pennsylvania, like it or not. That guy still has huge name recognition with your suburban chunky housewife, okay? And what Democrats are running? Jessica Sincernos, Greg Cesar. Okay, they might be nice people, but they're also probably commies. But let's see how stupid's trying to spin and support this brainlet take. Ocasio-Cortez made the comments during a voting rally at the Paper Tiger, how appropriate, live music venue, where she endorsed progressive Democrat candidates Jessica Sincernos and Greg Cesar, who are running for seats in state's 28th and 35th congressional district, respectively. MySanAntonio.com reported. The primary elections are set for March 1st, per the outlet. And, okay, just before we go any further, okay, and read that little excerpt from MySanAntonio.com, her endorsements are worth their weight in feathers. Every time that she endorses somebody, I can think specifically about mayoral candidates. The one in New York City, okay, the one that she endorsed, finished third, by the way, to Eric Adams, who is a catastrophic failure. Don't forget that. But, and even before that, like progressive candidates who got the nod from the likes of Bernie Sanders, AOC, and the rest of the squad, they didn't fare all that well. You can go back and take a look for proof of concept. But yeah, here's what AOC had to say, per the outlet. Here's what's exciting about Jessica's race and Greg's race. They're both Latinx. That if we flip Texas, we flip the country. No. Nice try, though. But whatever. Texas turning blue is inevitable. Oh, boy. Those you hanging around in Congress, rather, and becoming that swamp creature that you say to be so much against, I'd imagine for the next 50 years you're going to be there, okay? You're just going to be another Nancy Pelosi, okay? You rail against the power structure, but in actuality, you just like that power structure because you want to adopt it. Let's be fucking fair. The only question is when. When are we going to fight for a living wage? When are we going to make sure we unionize the hell out of this state? Ugh. When do you want to make Texas, Illinois? We're going to make sure that not one dime is made exploitatively across any worker, especially the undocumented. Oh, so I'm going to go ahead and I want to stick up for illegal immigrants, okay? All you need to do is, what was that, Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that? We talked about the fact that Latino immigrants in Texas, okay, rather all across the southern border there, they hate illegal immigrants, okay? They want to see that stopped. But you're out here saying that we need to take care of them. We need to look after them. Okay, cool. So you're just as out of touch as you've always been. Nice to see that at least you're consistent and in one area. Congresswoman from New York says that she supports the two for Congress due to their shared interest for Texas and the United States, including Medicare for all, good paying union jobs, and reproductive freedom. Yeah, those are all very central core features of being from and representing Texas. Take a poll. You're one of those people that rail against, the Texas abortion bill. Guess who supports that abortion bill, by the way? Texas women. But you don't care about them. They're just all racist and bigots, the ones who don't support your sentiments. Sincernos is an immigration attorney and is primary incumbent Democrat Representative Henry Cuellar, who represents the 28th District of the Lone Star State. Cuellar has held the seat since 2005, and he was the one who kind of spoke against Biden's border policy, saying that there's a real fucking problem. You guys should come down here and check it out for yourself. Other AOC endorsed candidate, Cesar Casser, something like that, a former member of the Austin City Council. ugh, it's enough to despise him just on the face of that, is running in the 35th district, which is currently held by longtime Representative Lloyd Doggett. I have no idea who that is. Doggett is running for the state's newly created 37th district, according to Ballotpedia, while speaking at the Christian Science Monitor breakfast in September of 2019. Republican Senator Ted Cruz said that if the GOP were to lose Texas, it would spell doom. Politico reported at the time. No, that's actually fair. But good thing about that is it ain't gonna happen. At least in the governorship, because you got old fucking mouth-breathing, bouncing baby Beto out here. He's running, he's going to be the likely Democrat nominee for governorship, and oh boy, howdy is he heading for a fucking massive defeat. Governor Greg Abbott, old wheelchair-bound Abbott holds a 10-point lead over, oh, we're gonna take your guns, old fucking moist mouth there. Good for him. Abbott holds a double-digit lead over Democrat Robert Francis Beto O'Rourke in a hypothetical head-to-head gubernatorial poll from the Texas Politics Project at the University of Texas, Austin. And you know they had to publish that through gritted fucking teeth. Poll found that 47% of registered Texas voters said that they would vote for Abbott, 10% more than the Democrat primary candidate. That sucks. In comparison, only 37% of respondents said that they would vote for O'Rourke, who also, yeah, the last time around in 2018 got bitched the fuck out by Ted Cruz and failed like his policies as a presidential candidate in 2020. But hey, can he ride a mean skateboard, sissy bitch? The only thing he successfully did was raise the profile of Lauren Boebert. Thanks for that, by the way. There's also 6% of respondents who said that they would vote for someone else. I don't know. Abbott seems pretty fine, and literally running against Beto, even for Abbott, all things considered, is still punching down. But I wouldn't want to punch that big fucking blockhead anyways. 44% of respondents said they approve of how the two-term Republican governors handled the job, while 70% of those responded said that they strongly approve. That's still not bad. So, yeah, got a 61% approval rating. That's pretty good. In comparison, 42% disapproved of how Abbott handled the job. Maybe my math's a little bit off. I don't know, 61%. I'm correct. There was 12% said neither, with 4% who said I don't know enough. Okay, cool. So you're probably just gonna vote for Beto anyways. O'Rourke has a higher unfavorability. Yeah, he has the likability of sudden infant death syndrome. Only 36% of respondents had a favorable opinion of the Democrat. Oh, have you ever seen me do an ollie though? Well, a higher percentage, 43%, found him unfavorable, other than they have seen him do a kickflip. 14% said neither, and 6% said, I don't know who the fuck that is. Please stop calling me. Well, Abbott has the support of former President Donald Trump, once again showing you the power of endorsements. You get the endorsement from Trump, it's worth its weight in gold. You get your endorsement from AOC and it's worth its weight in, I don't know, Instagram followers. I'm sure you'll be super popular down there. But overall, in the entire country, is it turning blue? I don't really know. If you want to go ahead and you want to take anything from 2020 terribly seriously, outside of the places where the laws were strictly enforced, but that's another discussion for another platform. But your basic bitch Republican, okay? Your Kevin McCarthy types, I don't know who that gaggle of nothing on the stage there is. Okay, you run any of them out there, and they got a 12-point lead over a generic fucking Democrat. You put an R on a page, and you put a D on the page, and they're going to vote for the retard over the dickhead. Sorry, that's just how it works. 12% more often. This spells disaster for them. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at sacrifice. Republicans lead Democrats by double digits on the latest generic midterm congressional ballot from Trafalgar Group, as the first primary elections are only weeks away. I can't wait for the primaries. They're going to be fun. They're going to be super fun. Because, like I said, I'm thoroughly unimpressed with a bunch of the currently elected Republicans that are in office right now. So, if the primaries prove that there can be some, like, real populist candidates, some people who actually listen and actually represent a proper direction for the country, that will be wonderful. But if it's going to be just the bog standard fucking swamp creatures who show up once again in order to get reelected, it's just going to be another tough few years, because they're just eventually going to fucking cave whenever the going gets tough. But as of right now, here's what we have. Latest poll from Trafalgar Group revealed Republicans have a commanding 12-point lead over Democrats on the generic ballot when the respondents were asked about which party they would vote for if the election for Congress was held today. The poll indicates that there is more support behind a generic Republican. Of the respondents, 54.4% said that they would vote for a generic Republican. In comparison, only 41.9% said that they would vote for a generic Democrat. Well, there was only 3.7%. That's not even close to 9% were undecided. Even still, just spot the Democrats that. That's still almost a double-digit lead. While generic Republicans lead in the poll, a plurality of voters said that they are confident Republicans would follow through on their promises and try to block or undo President Joe Biden's far-left policies and agenda. Yep, because for all intents and purposes, for as much as possible in current-day politics, Democrats have wide open lanes. They have the House, they have the Senate, even by slim margins, and they can't get their shit done. Why would you think giving them even a wider berth, okay, giving them another Senate seat, okay, giving them a little bit more of a majority in the House, you actually think that they'd accomplish anything that they want to without fucking up the country irreparably for generations to come? Apparently that's not the case. 81% said that they were confident the Republicans keeping their promises, while 46.1% of the respondents said that they were very confident. In comparison, only 18.9% said that they were not confident. Have you ever met Kevin McCarthy? Just saying. Broken down by party, 82.7% of Republican respondents said that they were confident that the generic Republican would block Biden's far-left policies and agendas. Yeah, they got to, because the next 2 years, okay, after the midterms, it's just going to be gridlock. It's just going to be political posturing. The Democrats are going to go in fucking Spurg overdrive. You mark me down on that one. It's going to be insufferable saber rattling all about 2024. We need to take it back because the Republicans are evil and they're just trying to strip away all of our rights and Medicare for all. Fuck off. They're going to be doing that. They're going to be legislating from the only office that they'll have left. There's going to be executive orders fucking flying from every corner of that White House. You fucking will better believe it. Whether it's Joe signing them or Kamala, who fucking knows? In comparison, 80.2% of Democrat respondents said they were confident in the generic Republicans would block Biden's far-left policies. That's pretty close, okay? So even Republicans, just even at what, yeah, a 2.5% higher clip that they would block Biden's policies, whereas Democrats have just kind of resigned to their fate that, yeah, they're probably going to do that. While a majority, 55.5%, said that they were very confident. So they think the worst of the Republicans, theoretically, okay, if we're expecting the worst from both sides. Majority of voters also believe that Biden's far-left policies to fix inflation are hurting America's economic recovery. No, it's just transient. Okay, it's not transient. It'll be done by 2022. What do you mean everything keeps going up? Don't worry about it. Just here's some more free money. That's not working, pal. There were 54.2% of respondents that said it has hurt the economy, while only 31.7% said that it helped the economy because they're retarded, and 14.1% said that they were unsure. That's at least fair in this situation because finances are difficult to suss out. But all you need to know is that old man, he's not very bright, and he's really proving it, okay? Because I'd love to give him big ups. I'd like to say that the country and where the United States goes, the rest of the world eventually follows. You just take a look. It's like, what did Joe Biden run on? Build back better. And where did every other country around the world start to adopt after he got anointed as president? Okay, they all started to take up the same line. So that's just proof, and obviously everybody already knows that. But if Joe was doing well, the world would be doing well, and I wouldn't be railing against him. But at every fucking intersection, he fails catastrophically. So it's just got to be enough. And it looks like 2022, I keep saying it every single time, but it just, once again, just bores out to be more true each time. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a reckoning, and the spurg out in the next 2 years is going to be tremendous, only to be capped off by 2024. Ooh. So I see a bad moon rising, and that moon is looking awfully orange, if you catch my drift. But with that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. Why don't you follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.